Damaging winds and large hail are the lead story today across a corridor stretching from central Texas all the way northeast through the Ohio Valley and into New England. Nearly 35 million people sit inside a slight risk zone, and storms are already firing this morning. Today's Doppler score comes in at 4.4 out of 10, a moderate threat day where hail and flooding are the standout concerns. Before this briefing ends, I'm going to tell you the exact city and time window where I think the most damaging hail falls today. My read on this setup is straightforward. A storm system pushing east has strong winds stacked from the surface all the way up through the atmosphere, and that's the engine driving today's wind and hail threat. Here's the jet stream map. Look at the core of the strongest upper-level winds, aimed right over the same corridor where storms are firing, from the Tennessee Valley northeast into the Ohio Valley. That alignment means any storm that develops can tap into that speed and drive dangerous gusts to the ground. Now look at the surface forecast chart. Multiple areas of low pressure are stretched across the central part of the country with fronts extending south toward the Gulf Coast, and the heaviest rain and storm activity is draped right along those boundaries from eastern Texas through Arkansas and into the Ohio Valley. The one variable I'm watching is timing. If storms race through before peak heating this afternoon, hail sizes stay smaller and wind gusts stay more manageable. So here's where the hail probabilities tell a story you need to hear. This is the Day 1 hail outlook. A broad 5% large hail zone covers most of the threat corridor from Texas to the northeast. But over West Texas, that number jumps to 15%, and it carries significant hatching. That means hail 2 inches or larger is possible out there. We're talking hail big enough to shatter windshields, dent hoods, and destroy roofs. If you're in that zone and your car is outside, get it under cover before storms arrive. Now the wind map. A 15% damaging wind probability stretches from the Texas through Vermont. That translates to gusts strong enough to snap large tree limbs and tear off roof shingles. Secure anything loose in your yard before this afternoon. Here's the tornado outlook. 2 small areas carry a 2% tornado probability, one over the Great Lakes region and one over West Texas. A brief tornado or 2 can't be ruled out, but wind and hail damage are the primary threats today. If a tornado warning is issued for your area, get to an interior room on the lowest floor immediately. Now I want to show you exactly which cities sit inside these risk zones, because if your city is on this list, your afternoon plans need adjusting. At the highest tier, the slight risk, we're talking about Dallas and Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Little Rock, Memphis, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Columbus. That's the core of the threat today. On the edges in the marginal risk, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Nashville, and Pittsburgh should all stay weather aware for isolated strong storms. If this briefing is helping you make a decision right now, hit subscribe and turn on that bell so you never miss a forecast when your city's on the list. Storms are already on the ground this morning across parts of the Ozarks and the Mid-South. Through the late morning hours, the main line pushes northeast through the Ohio Valley, reaching the mid-Atlantic by mid to late afternoon. Peak heating this afternoon recharges the atmosphere across central and west Texas, and that's where a second round of storms fires between 3 and 7 p.m. My call. San Antonio sees the most damaging hail today between 4 and 6 p.m., right as instability peaks along the dry line in central Texas. 2 severe thunderstorm watches are active right now. One covers parts of northeastern Oklahoma, valid until 7 a.m. Central, issued by the National Weather Service in Tulsa. The second covers parts of the Ozarks, also valid until 7 a.m. Central, out of Springfield. If you're in either of those zones, storms capable of large hail and damaging winds are ongoing. Stay alert until these watches expire. Turn on weather alerts on your phone right now and know where your safe room is before storms arrive. That's all it takes. On your screen is the Doppler threat outlook for the next 6 days. Today is our primary concern, but tomorrow still carries a marginal risk with 5% wind and hail chances lingering across parts of the mid-Atlantic. After that, the pattern quiets significantly through the weekend. Here's the excessive rainfall outlook. A slight risk of flooding is up today across portions of the Gulf Coast and the Ohio Valley. That means rainfall rates heavy enough to flood streets and overwhelm storm drains. Do not drive through standing water tonight. That slight flood risk continues tomorrow and into Thursday, so this is a multi-day concern for the same regions. Doppler tracking. Doppler out.